Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, you have landed on Ginger Chick Rehab, where I love to take secondhand finds that I find out in the wild and show you what I would do to these items. And so in today's video, it is Christmas inspired. We've had snow here in Michigan. It is November. I guess we better get started working on things for that Christmas season. So in today's video, throughout the year, I'm constantly looking for little inspirations, and I ran across a garage sale and I saw some little shoes with some trees in them, and I'm like, oh, I have to find some. I just have to create some for you all here in the channel. So today is that video. I'm so super excited how all these turned out. I cannot wait to share the process with you all. And I was really just looking for single shoes. Not necessarily did they have to be paired. They did not have to be in wonderful shape. I would like them to be vintage like this one, a little bit older, but how cute is this little buckle shoe? And it's just one. It's worse for wear. It is perfect for a craft project. So I'm just going through some of my thrifted stock finds, using up what I have, and this is just a bag that came in something that I got at an auction that has some crinkled paper. So the shoe is kind of flat, so I need to puff it back up, fill it back up. Now it does have a hole in it, but I'm not going to worry about the hole at the toe right now. We'll deal with that at the end. I'm really sure if you'll see the crinkled paper or not when I'm finished with the final design, but it's nice to have a neutral color. So now I just have these 3-pack of trees that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. It was either 40 or 50% off. I always forget what their sale is right now, but when I'm kind of gearing towards, I think I want the lighter of the trees just because the shoe is black. I'm working with more of my thrifted finds that I have been gathering all season, waiting for this time of the year. This little berry garland is just so tiny, simple, and sweet. So I think that would be a nice third color to kind of hide the crinkle paper, be able to wrap around. I think it'll coordinate perfectly. And that is a lot of garland. I don't need it all, but I'm just going to kind of work with it and eyeball to see what I think I need. So that garland is so lightweight, it's really easy just to glue in place with some hot glue. Now I'm just taking my piercing tool from the Dollar Tree store and then just pushing in any of that crinkled paper that is trying to poke out. And now I'm just going to remove the bottom, the little wooden base on the brush bottle tree, just wiggling, pulling until it comes off, and then I'll put a little bit of hot glue on that wire and then stick it right in. Oh, is that not so totally cute? But I'm going to use the Merry and Bright stamp set from a few years ago from IOD to create a little bit of a tag. These were just some price tags that were in one of our auction boxes, but I liked how they had aged. So I'm just going to stamp on a simple little joy on that little tag to add another little element of lightness to the shoe. There's not really anything for me to attach the string to, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut that off and put a little hot glue to glue this on. So now that hole of where the string was is just staring at me, so I feel like I need to do something with it. But I have some rusty, crusty Jingle bells. I thought, well, yeah, it's the season and it's a shoe, a little baby shoe. So I'm going to attach it using just some random wire that I have that I saved when I cut off other things. And I think that will work out just fine to attach it to that little hole and make it look like the hole's just not hanging out there, and then add another little feature in with some age. And then since that Jingle Bell's a little bit on the bigger side, I do have this smaller one. I like how they play off each other. And I think that hot glue will work. Just some hot glue on that hole, press it together until it cools, and I think it should keep it together. It's not like you're walking on it anymore. Oh my goodness, look at this shoe. Look at the nails at the bottom, how this was handcrafted back in forever ago. Oh my gosh, and yep, just one. There's just one of it, but perfect for a DIY. So I do need to stuff my little shoe to be able to build it up. So, and it's already, the shoe itself is pretty stiff still, but I just want to fill in that dead space. I think I'll be using this brush bottle tree, and I think that the base is going to fit in there perfectly, and it'll really give it some stability of not tipping over. So you just never know what way it's going to work. So I'm just going to put hot glue straight on the bottom of it and stick it right in there on top of that paper. But I want to be able to hide the white crinkle paper along with the base of the tree, so I'm just going to take some of this brown tissue paper to do so. Oh, what a perfect accent to this old shoe is these old doilies. I have had a pile sitting around for I don't know how long, and I'm sorry that I have to cut it up, but I only need pieces and parts of it. So I was tucking half of it inside the shoe and then gluing half of it on the outside of the shoe. I didn't want to cover up those beautiful buttons, so I'm off-centering it, just like a nice little tree skirt. You know, you just keep working on a project till you love it, so I wanted some different textures, some different visual, a couple little colors playing on each other, and I know I'm cutting up some more of the doilies, but y'all, I have a bag full of them, and I use them for decor in my retail booth, and I think I've had one sell in all the years that I've had a retail booth. Oh, but I do love those doilies, the two different patterns, the two different just textures playing on each other. And now I'm going to add some Rusty Crusty Stars. And yeah, I got quite a stash of them, so I'm happy to use it. But I got to find the smaller ones to fit on this little bitty shoe. And I was looking for the more brown rust to coordinate with the brown on the shoe. So yeah, I was being picky, but I think that just accentuates it well. So just a little bit of hot glue to attach it. Feel like it needs a little bit of color. Okay, a little bit of color. So I have these berries on some wire that I clipped off of a garland, but I just want to use the berries. So I'm just going to snip off 3 of those little reddish, kind of had a green tone to them berries. Just a minute amount of hot glue to glue them on. Then I'm just going to make a simple bow using this thread. I just felt like it needed a little bit more of an accent. Y'all, that was a good auction box that had all these little shoes in it, and I was so happy they were, I mean, I would have loved them to be paired, but I was also happy that they were single so I could make something out of them. So back again, going to stuff the shoe using that crinkled paper that has some silver crinkle in it, so it's not something I really want you to see, but it's nice filler. So this little shoe is perfect for a little bitty brush bottle tree. The base fits in there, so I'm going to use the base and just hot glue it in. I have that tree base covered up with some of the brown tissue paper. I'm going to use some more of the pieces and parts of a doily. I just love that added feature with the brown and the green. It's just that third element that really ties this together. Loving that doily as the tree skirt, and now I have some more of this thread that I'm going to try to thread through these little crusty bells. I needed to actually like thicken or get the hole increased a little bit. The thread didn't really want to go through it, but I did make it work. Now when I attached the bells, I kind of visioned them hanging off to the side, but it made it made the little shoe side heavy, so it kept tipping it over, so I had to kind of glue them into the front of the shoe. I really love those little vintage tags, so I'm going to be using Noel out of a little saying from the Merry and Bright. I think it's just a perfect little, just a simple accent. And I really do have a pair of them, though they're, you know, they're not the buckles, they're not the little buttons, and the laces, the laces can't be laced up anymore. And like the leather that it is, it's a little bit on the crusty side, but I still think I can make them kind of cute. But they do need to be stuffed so they fill back out. And it is surprising how much tissue paper, that's a whole sheet of tissue paper that can just be crinkled down and fit inside most of this shoe, but it's a great filler. So to tighten these back up and keep the tongue where it's supposed to be, I think I'm just going to add some hot glue and then just hold it until it dries, it cools down to hold it in place where it should be. Working out rather well, so I'm going to go ahead, and the tongue has kind of been crinkled, so it's not going to stay up or down, it's half up, half down, so I'm just going to fold it completely over with a little dab of hot glue, because actually the tongue sticks up farther than what the back of the shoe does. And I'm going to see what part of the shoestring I can salvage. I know I can't lace it back up, but there's still a bow on each one of the laces, so I think I can use it just as an accent and glue it on. And then now I'm going to go ahead and add some more of these little rusty, crusty little jingle bells. A couple, 2 or 3, you know, just depending on what it looks like. But I think it's so, these are turning out so cute. So not that the tissue paper looks that bad by any means, but I do just want to add a little extra element in there to cover up the base of this little tree. Now, I don't know how vintage these are. I bought these from an auction also, and they were still in the original bag, so they held their shape very well. Fun of being one that shops secondhand is you always can find some unique items. Look at these little cutouts. So I thought, oh, let me see if I have any kind of Christmas theme that would fit in. So I have a deer and a rocking horse. Yes, I think they will be perfect accents. So a little bit of hot glue and a couple more bells to finish this off. My last shoe of the video is more like a toddler's shoe or a small person's shoe, but y'all, I could not throw this out. You know this is old. You know it is. it's definitely on the rough side, but it is so vintage. It is cool. Everything about this shoe is cool. So let's get stuff in the shoe and see how I can save it. Then I think like the inside, you know, that inside sole type, I don't know. But anyway, I couldn't get like the toes stuffed. Something's already stuffed in there, which is leathery, like it's not any animal by any means, y'all. But I like, okay, so I got that stuffed in, so I'm going to stuff in some more tissue paper because I used up all that crinkle paper. But yes, I'm just trying to make this, you know, be as full as I possibly can. Not overstuffed, but, you know, fill it out a little bit more. 2 full sheets of tissue paper later, some of that crinkled paper. Yep, just now I got to figure out how do I keep it closed. No laces, but the rivets that hold the laces are still there. There's still some metal pieces. So I think I have some rusty wire that I hoard on just for this kind of occasion, and look, it blends well. So I'm just going to kind of fake some laces to be able to keep the shoe together. So yep, I'm just going to tighten them up using my fingers at first and then some needle nose pliers to twist them. I think that'll work out perfectly. So I think that worked out perfectly. I was able to get some wire in almost every one of the holes, and that is keeping it together nice and tight. So yes, I'm going to add some more doily. I love the doily with these vintage shoes. Oh, my heart is happy with all that. So whether I have to cut this one up or not, you know, I have to play with it a little bit and to see what I can do. But sometimes it's easier to cut it up to get it to lay the way that you want it to lay. Since this is a bigger shoe, it can take a bigger tree. And I picked this tree up at the Dollar Tree store. They really have upped their game on brush bottle trees this year, y'all. So if you have not made it in there, you know, the pickings get slim. But anyway, I don't really care for the accent of the beads on this shoe. So I'm going to go ahead. They're just simply just a little bit hot glued in there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them along with the little piles of hot glue that are left behind. So I don't even know if you saw this haul yet, because I only share a haul on my Journey channel like once a week. I try not to overload you with hauls. But we had went to an artist auction, and she had all these, probably before decoupage paper days, books, and my mind kept going to these vintage Santas, and I just knew that since this is a bigger piece that I could use one of these on there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut one of them out. Go make sure that you stay tuned for that video. It is amazing. I believe it's coming up on Tuesday. You'll absolutely love it. Remember, that's on the Journey channel. I do feel like the shoe needs another element, so I'm going to go back to that little bitty berry garland, and I'm going to wrap it around since this is such a big shoe. I love the doily on there. I love that as like that pop of brightness to the piece. So I think that I can tie it all together by wrapping this down. So I have to play with it a little bit because of course I'm wrapping it the opposite way that it wants to be wrapped or that it was strung out to be. But you know, sometimes you just have to play with things and hot glue it in place the way you want it to be. Now to add my Santa, I don't know, I don't think he just looks right just hanging out there. I don't think that paper will survive very well. But I do have some of these old-timey looking frames. They're plastic, but it has real glass in them. So I'm like, perfect. I think Santa's face will fit in there. So thank you so much for watching today's video. And yes, was that not a God wink moment? Because little vintage shoes, it's hard because you're like, you want to just use the pair of them all year long. And these were just all singles. Okay, there was one pair in the midst, but they were all singles. They were perfect for this DIY. Oh, my heart just was having so much fun creating with them, giving the little bottle brush tree inspiration with some of the doilies. Oh, I absolutely love it. Give me a quick comment down below. Have I inspired you to go into your stash, go out looking for, yeah, just a single shoe will suffice. So thanks again for watching. As always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you are new and you're checking out this content for the first time and you stayed at the end of the video, I think you kind of like it. So hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.